The revolver we're looking at today is the Colt Peacemaker as replicated by Umarex air guns. That's right, that is actually an air pellet revolver there. So let's go ahead and open up the box and have a look at it. Alright, it's not all wrapped up and oily like a real one, although it's packaged very similar to like a Uberti replica. Let's see what else comes in the box. It's the owner's manual, it looks like. Usual paperwork. Now, you may notice it has Colt written all over it and on the gun itself, and I believe this is actually a licensed Colt product, and Umarex makes a lot of replicas. They've done the Ruger 1022, they've done a lot of other handguns, so I guess they just get permission to do it, and they do a good job. And first thing I noticed as I picked this up, this is a heavy-duty handgun. To be honest, that feels just like holding a single-action army. The action, gosh, even that feels pretty great. It looks like the hammer won't rest all the way down. It wants to spring back up. I guess that's where it rests. Well, let's just take a look at this sort of from back to front. It's got plastic grips on it with a Colt Peacemaker mark there. Right up here, Colt, caliber 4.5 millimeter or 177, shoots pellets. Loading gate feels just like on a real revolver. That's incredible. Looks like it's got the same ejector on it. Marking up here, Colt Single Action Army 45. Oh, look at this bore. Obviously that's not the pellet bore, but I don't know if you can see on camera, it is rifled. That's impressive that they went to that level of detail. I don't want to look down it, but I'll point it somewhat at the camera. And inside you can sort of see the actual barrel in there, which is also a steel rifled barrel. And in the chambers, let's see, if I pull it to half cock, that's what frees the cylinder just like on a real one. And I'll use the ejector up here just like on a real one to pop these cartridges out. And I guess since they're not real fired cartridges, they'll just fall right out into my hand. And the way those work, now that it's empty, is you can just take one of these cartridges and you just take your 177 caliber pellet, press it right into that hole on all of the cartridges, and then they just load just like a single action army cartridge revolver would load. I'll just go ahead and pop these in. Dropped one on the floor. I'll put these in for now, these 5. And then after you shoot your pellets, you could take them out with this ejector every time if you wanted to, or the other thing you could do is just leave them in there and just pop the pellets directly into the holes in them like that. That would work as well. So I'm going to go ahead and dry fire this. That's actually a nice trigger. And the reason I bought this, I'll just tell you, I'm going to be doing a video soon called Introduction to Air Guns. I wanted to show the various types, and the CO2 was the only type that I didn't have. And I almost bought a cheap little $30 pistol just to show a CO2 pistol. But when I saw this, and having a channel called Guns of the West, I just had to have this one, of course. Let's take a look over on this side. This is where your spring-loaded screw would be for the base pin. Just decorative on this air gun, though. That doesn't actually move. Down here on the bottom, this is a manual safety. Right now you can see that little red dot, which means it's not safe. But if I flip the lever, the whole gun locks up, the trigger doesn't move, the hammer doesn't move, and then just flip it back, and everything is functional again. Now on the grip, if you look down at the bottom here, there's a little cutout, so I can get my fingernail under it and just pop that grip off, and that is where a CO2 cartridge would go. Just a regular 12 gram, they're very cheap, pick them up just about anywhere, just like Walmart. And then on this grip, this is interesting, there's a little hex key, and that is the tool that goes right in here for tightening that down in order to puncture your CO2 cartridge and get the air released. And then to get it out, of course, you just back it off just like that. Has a little tab right up here at the front that slides right there, and it just clicks back into place. Now, since this is just an overview, I won't actually put a CO2 cartridge in there, just in case something were to get down the barrel. I don't want anybody to get a hold of this and be able to propel something. But of course, I will do another video review on this where we'll get out and shoot it, maybe even fight off that notorious high fructose gang. And again, you'll be able to see my video, Introduction to Air Guns, where you'll see this CO2 revolver and other types of air guns as well.